Hello, my name is Miguel Leon, and this is my presentation on MRI technology. This is a quote I found while doing my research. It clarified the concept for me quite a bit. An MRI image is not a photograph, it is actually a computerized map or image of radio signals emitted by the human body. Okay, so the acronym MRI stands for Magnetic Resonance Imaging, and over the next few slides we will discuss how it works, a few of the components, some of the inventors, and past, present, and future uses. Okay, so the MRI process starts at a molecular level. When the body is exposed to the magnetic field, the nuclei of the atoms align with the magnetic field. Once they are aligned, the MRI machine sends out a radio frequency pulse targeted to the hydrogen atoms, which we are very abundant of. These hydrogen atoms receive the radio frequency signal, spin off in a different direction, and return a radio frequency signal of their own. That is the resonance part of it. After that, the machine captures those radio signals and converts that into the slice or image. As we see, this is a shoulder MRI. They can be conducted of various parts of the human body. Um, Here's a visual example, since I know my explanation was not the best. Okay, here we have the atoms in your body. They're randomly moving in motion. If we apply a magnetic field, we see they align, and we send off the radio frequency pulse. They spin off and return the signal of their own. We'll do it one more time. So the targeted atoms, hydrogen atoms, they spin off, and that signal is captured to formulate the MRI image. Now back to the slide. Okay, so the major components of the MRI machine are superconducting magnet, gradient coils, radio frequency system, and the computer system. As you can see, probably the largest and heaviest part of the MRI scanner is the superconducting magnet. This magnet has very special key properties. It has no resistance to electricity and generates no heat, so there's no loss of energy when using it. The only thing is that in order for it to maintain these properties, it needs to be kept at negative 452 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is achieved by a refrigerating unit applying liquid helium to the magnet. Second one, as you can see, the gradient coils are, I guess, on the inner side of the superconducting magnet. These are used to produce vibrations in the magnetic field, which help the MRI machine set the image position. And then we have the radio frequency system. This is just a system that sends and receives the radio signals. When the radio signals are received, this radio frequency system amplifies the waves, sends it to the computer, and the computer compiles the image or the slice. And now I forgot to mention the cost behind the MRI machine can range from $1 to $3 million. On top of that, they need its MRI facility, its MRI technologists, and its maintenance. So in order to run an MRI machine, the average cost is $800,000 per year. So it gets quite expensive. Here are some of the notable visionaries that I've noticed throughout my research. They're not the only ones that should be contributed to the development of the MRI, but they are very. Without them, it would have been much, much harder. Nikola Tesla, Nobel Prize winner, he was accredited for discovering the rotating magnetic field. And as we have seen, the magnetic field is key for the work the MRI does. And actually, the The current MRIs are measured, the strength of the magnets are measured in Tesla units. Earth's magnetic pull is approximately zero point 0.5 Tesla units. Now, an average MRI machine can run on 1.5 Tesla units, so that shows you the strength of the MRI itself. The next inventor is Isaac Rabai, also a Nobel Prize winner, and he studied the magnetic properties of nuclei. Um, he developed the magnetic resonance detection method. He recognized that the atomic nuclei show their presence by absorbing or emitting radio waves when exposed to a sufficiently strong magnetic field. That is another key property of how the MRI machine does what it does. And the last inventor we will talk about is Raymond Damadian. I hope I said that right. He is accredited for producing the first MRI image and for building the first MRI machine. He first proposed the idea in 1969. Many were skeptical of his concept, but on July 3rd, 1977, he was able to generate the image of a chest cavity of a man, which took approximately 5 hours. And I guess the quality was not as great, but nevertheless, he did accomplish something that many thought was impossible. And now we will go to applications, past, present, and future. So in the past, before the MRIs, there was, I guess, two techniques for diagnosis of inner human abnormalities. There was invasive techniques, which would be through surgery, or X-ray imaging, which also contain harmful radiation. The CAT scan was invented around the same time as the MRI, 1975. MRI was 1977. But the downfall of the CAT scan is that it also uses radiation. So the radiation can damage DNA and increase the risk of cancer. The first machines were known as to do nuclear magnetic resonance. This was changed for marketing purposes since the word nuclear tended to scare patients off. First machines did not house the whole body, only certain sections. The images were of very low quality and took very long time to produce. Actually, in 1980, Phonar company introduced the first whole body MRI scanner. And in 1984, Phonar also introduced oblique imaging. This was the ability to produce images at any angle or any slice, so on different axes. Also in the 1980s, spin echo imaging was developed. It was similar to MRI, but it was used to detect proton density and differences. And as you can see, in the 1980s, the full body machine was developed, as we talked about previously. And now, presently, the MRI machines are able to target, to take detailed pictures of target areas of the body. They show 250 distinct shades of gray, so each reflects slight variations of tissue density and water content. So we are able to distinguish between normal and diseased tissues precisely and pinpoint cancerous cells within the body. Compared to the CT scan, the MRI provides a greater contrast between the soft tissues of the body. And we also have the ability now to convert MRI images into 3D imaging. And another, I guess, offspring of the MRI is functional magnetic resonance imaging. This one is interesting. This stands for, well, functional. So instead of capturing just a still gray image, it actually can capture activity. So so now the scientists are able to target active areas of the brain, um, blood flow, and it's just based on the concept that um, the the blood in your the blood content has different levels of oxygen, so they are able to track that through functional magnetic resonance imaging. With this tool, they are able to track tumors, seizures, Alzheimer, plan surgery, analyze emotions, and much more application. Another one that is presently used is the upright MRI, which allows the patient to sit up straight and actually scan with the of weight of the body on the spine. It's better for evaluating scoliosis and easier for claustrophobic patients. Um, uh, According to Phonar, the developer of this technology, many back problems were missed during the MRIs that were done laying down. So to solve this, they developed this upright MRI, which has been quite useful. And some of the future applications for this is the Philips has developed a 7 Tesla unit MRI. This unit is used only for studies now, not for clinical purposes. Philips claims that this system produces much more exquisite detail images, enabling you to gain a deeper insight into the psychological and cognitive process of the brain. As well, its strength makes it quicker and gives better results. Another future application, well, it's already out, but the currently most MRI machines run on 1.5 Tesla units, but the migration to 3.0 Tesla units is in high demand, since it's about 4 times better than the 1.5 Tesla unit. That's quite a big advantage, but the cost is also an issue. And another one future technology is the two-in-one application. This one is MRI and a CAT scan machine. So I guess whatever the CAT scan doesn't pick up, you can use the same machine to run an MRI scan on it. And this one's produced by Siemens. And I guess the only downfall would be is the exposure to radiation. And but that shouldn't be that is a big issue actually. But I want to thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed. Thank you. That was the 15th.